right? To play against Smolder, it's about looking for those more aggressive lanes. To not give him the chance to get all those stacks and scale up into just a demon executing people left and right. Does leave open the sneak. I would expect this one to get locked in for IG. It's Cryine's second most played pick, and will lend them to leaning into a style with more agency rather than the Azir. And also about if they want to match bot lane now. I feel like that'd typically be the answer. Not a whole lot left open. Things like the Kallista's still there. That's been kind of affected on 14-4. A bit of a weird kind of change because the Ren damage got nerfed, but also it's been bug fixed to where now the normal boots do affect your hop distance, so it tries to even itself out.
We're going mano a mano here. I like it. A little 2v2 action is what's on store for us today, as I think this is one way to approach the matchup itself, and one way that I'm very excited for. The skirmishing is locked in. Double lock-in, though, immediately the Melio for top esports. All is going according to plan for them, but definitely opting into a skirmish matchup for Tian.
Yeah, already going towards that Xin Zhao, despite the fact that Kalista is one of the people who's... I mean, if Xin Zhao ever gets on top of her, you are in range of his ult, so you aren't really denying anything. Now the lock-in of the Renata to try and dissuade and deny a lot of the all-ins. I mean, hell, IG, I think right now with their first 3 picks is pretty solid, because you're denying the all-ins that TS are going to want to look for, while also having the aggression of your own with the Kalista.
I think it looks really good. I think you have a lot of options to go back and forth. LeBlanc, a rising priority in the meta in 14-4, it feels like, and going to be banned in the second phase. The Graves focus towards Lian also there.
Yeah, so clearly recognizing that Lian is one of the people trying to be this big carry for IG. And now kind of banning out Creme some more. I mean, Creme's only played 4 picks so far. It's only been Akali, Azir, Tristana, and Hwei. We know we can play the LeBlanc because of, past seasons. So definitely not a bad ban by IG, but might just end up going the way of the Hwei, since that one is going to be left through.
I will say IG respectfully looking at Creme, feels like, in the second phase. Definitely not wanting to give him some of those champs and give him some work around there. So a little bit more focus for IG, it feels like, in the mid lane matchup, maybe foreshadowing to how they want to focus in the game itself. Jax is banned away towards YSKM, but also towards Lian.
Yeah, so now top laners still up. Ooh, dear, if they wanted to try and cement themselves some prio up towards that side, but it seems like valuing the kind of superior team fighting coming in with the Cassante, even though the kind of slight changes coming into him on this patch, and now it's about top esports, right? Hwei, I said that's really the only thing left I can imagine Creme playing, gives him some AP damage in the mid lane. And I wonder if 369 just gives us the expected response of the Cassante. We know it's either Udyr or Aatrox, right? Feels like we really never deviate from the two all that often.
Give me the Ornn. Give me the 369 Ornn. I want to see it. I think that's probably the play.
I miss the days of just slamming in the Gragas whenever he's so pleased. That's when we know 369 is going to be the Omega Overlord of the league when that comes back into style.
We'll see if top esports want to opt into anything stable for themselves as well. 369 obviously back home with top esports, it feels like, but also feeling himself has been a very stable force for Tian to play around on the top side. It'll be the Gnar.
Yeah, it goes with the Gnar. Already had an exceptional performance on it so far this split, but now the question is junglers for IG. Things like the Lee Sin still up. It's what Lian has really been leaning into. He obviously had an exceptional Nocturne game we've seen recently, but I don't really love that into what TES have put together. Right now it seems like just understanding that they need some CC under their belts. A bit of mobility.
Like the Wukong.
Yeah, I was going to say a bit of mobility from the Lucian, so maybe you can try and justify the buy, but I think not enough mobility to where the Wukong isn't just an even better solution with the amount of knockups, the amount of targets you try and lock down with that Cyclone.
Because you're imagining, obviously, if you're an IG fan, you're picturing in your mind, close your eyes, take a look at this. Cryin gets a giant engage with the Pop Blossom. You have multiple forms of CC to layer down on top of it, and a double Cyclone. Yeah. I think that's looking pretty good for yourself.
I agree, right? Just so many more targets to be able to get your hands on. No one who's really going to be able to get out of the way of the Cyclone, and a lot of setup going to be there. So this one's going to be fun, right? Lucian going up against Kalista. 280 carries that we're keeping our eyes on. JackeyLove going against his former team in IG on now being one of the stand-up 80 carries. And I'm excited, Mazel. I'm hoping we get some action in that 2v2.
And on, it's been a little bit up and down, obviously being subbed out, subbed back in, but back in form. It feels like they are solidified now with this bot lane, and they're going to have to come into form here against one of the most powerful duos in our league right now in JackeyLove and Meiko. A duo I did not ever expect to put and see in my foreshadowing of the league, but one that is a welcomed sight. You said it best, JackeyLove versus IG. The focus on the junglers, Tian versus Luyen. And if Luyen can keep going in his, I guess, Grim Reaper costume against some of the best junglers in the league as a whole, and game one's getting started soon, I think this focus for TES being able to bounce back from that loss against FPX, the one that was so firmly in their grasp, and IG, they are looking to make themselves the real deal. They would move on to 7-2. They would silence the doubters with this win over Top Esports, taking down 2 of the top teams in the LPL. We're getting into game 1 of our second series. Energy is at an all-time high, and you better get ready for a rumble as we hear those Dios in Shanghai roar.
Love hearing all the love for IG. We can see them trying to aggress to get some level of information on this level 1. But if IG 2-0 here, they actually move in sole possession of second. They will have game difference over NIP. So definitely being in control of their own destinies. And, you know, people out there might hear IG 2-0 TES. They were able to do it to BLG. So anything can happen here.
Very true. And I think, honestly, that's what we've seen represented so well in the LPL recently. I do love, again, the focus that we are getting a really good 2v2, hands differential matchup in the bot side. I think level 2 is going to be oh so important between these two. And the level 1's already kicking off with some spice.
Already trying to find some level of an advantage. I love it, actually. Even just looking for these aggressive trades right now, but Wink is going to be able to do so much with that shield.
Going to try to get this. Some Summoner Spell at least already burned the Ignite and the heal from IG, but they will end up getting this level 2 if they can push it a little bit further here, and they actually will try to actually get a little bit more damage into Top Esports.
Yeah, going to be looking to try to challenge for now. Right now, stacking a wave might set them up to even get some better trades the further on we go. We do have both junglers who will eventually make their way down to the bot side. So, right, both teams are very much willing to enter the Boctagon.
Is that what we're sticking with? Just holding it over?
I am like so set on the Boctagon. I think Munch is the one who actually came up with the name. But I should watch like a ton of MMA, so the Boctagon just resonated with me. And that's what it is. We don't care about
369.
This ain't the Boctagon.
He's got beat. Hey, 369 wants to make his own MMA debut apparently into YSKM, but not going to be any more there. We will see the continued full clear from both junglers as well, and see if priority does lend itself here, because I do find it interesting, and looking at the compositions a little bit more, I think you have a lot of spacing tools in the team fights that are very good for IG. So I'm wondering if Top Esports being a hot behind in the future, if they can actually contest.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, I mean, we kind of know the two things to look at, right? One is going to be, we are going to have action break out in the spot side. Both teams are looking for heavy trades. They're looking to set up for junglers to come down to get these ganks going. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a 3v3 very soon. I feel like that'll be kind of the first decider in which way this game swings. But also the mid lane matchup. Yeah. I feel like people have been proficient on Hui, have looked very different from maybe, need to pause on that. I think that comes out.
That was really big. The ward will spot out Luyen, and Tian wants to go for that fight as they have push from bottom side. IG got level 2 first in bottom side, but level 3 came to TES, and they used that pressure well. And now Tian still going for it.
Yeah, just constantly looking for it, knowing like, hey, Luyen, you are not allowed to walk up here. My bot lane's chunked out your bot lane. My bot lane's pushed. Why can you not follow the rules of engagement?
Creme getting a bit back of a trade for Cryin there, as bottom scuttle will go the way of Top Esports. Tian looking to visit mid lane on Cryin. They should know that he was there, but when becomes lightning is going to be flashed out of by Cryin.
Yeah, nice flash. Sucks for him, right? Has to go for it. Even the Tangle Barbs does land, but wouldn't have been able to stop the damage that Creme would have been able to put up. And even looking like Tian should be able to get the double crab moving over. I don't know if he spotted out Luyen from that scrying plan he just used, but, you know, he has an idea that he's on this top side of the map. I guess he did spot him, just pinged him out.
This is a tried and true game plan for Top Esports coming into this one. They know that Lian has been a driving factor for IG, and a lot of that has come from him having the decision priority in the jungle when he wants to invade, when he wants to try to find the advantages. But Tian is not giving him an inch.
And, I mean, we know Tian. Tian loves to invade, get in the enemy's jungler phase. He's done that since FPX. I feel like he had a bit of a kind of rough period where, especially when Sim and Doinby split up and maybe mid laners weren't sacrificing everything to help their jungler like he was, where he was invading without Prios for some of the TS laners. He was getting into his own trouble and kind of just going in the enemy jungle and dying. We haven't seen that at all in a while now. Tian really has been on top of his game in some of their recent series. Again, sadly not against FBX, but what can you do against Milky Way right now?
What can you
no
do,
one has
man?
the answer.
No one does. No one does. Yeah, it's actually insane to me how crazy that FPX roster has been. We do see things happen, at least on the map. We did get the Telegrubbies episode 1 fully watched by Tian, all by himself. He was eating a cereal, getting ready to go. That does mean, though, there could be a swap of focus towards the Dragon on bottom side.
Yeah, but not exactly going to be there for IG. Is on and Wink going for the reset. So having the Vampiric Scepter now going to give them a bit of sustain to try and, you know, be able to hotly contest in these extended trades. But Lian now, we'll see if he's ready for this, because Creme would very easily be able to join in.
Level 6 is not going to be there just yet for either jungler, and both mid laners moving over. Cryin pretending to be Wink here. Maybe he can fool somebody. He's going to try to get in here and aggress onto the Chicky Nuggies. Do get the Tangle Barbs in the end. And camp at least goes to Lian.
Yeah, really nice. Even getting the second pump of the damage on the Q to just make sure that Tian has to go for the reset. I'm surprised, though. They're still not willing to pull the trigger on the Dragon. I guess looking at the state of bot lane with that wave stacking, Honor Wink would have to miss out on that one. And if you only set one back, then TS's bot lane would be able to lock up. So actually a bit of an understandable decision in the end, not easily able to go for that. But still, it just means TS won even more so by the fact that they were able to get all those grubs uncontested.
And we saw that early skirmish on bottom side, but for Top Esports, you definitely want to get at least Creme and JackeyLove in a state of prominence here, utilizing Tian that way. I haven't necessarily seen the proactives to dish out resources just yet.
No, definitely not. Not being able to give those resources over. I'm looking at the mini-map now, though, and Tian's over. We see Creme hovering down. And a lot of things on the map just going the way of TES.
Just gotta take the Dragon right from out underneath them. No contest from IG, just going for the farming here for Lian.
And it's so nice, too, because now you get this Drake. You can wait for the next set of grubs to come up. You'll be able to go for those without having to worry about Drake being up at the same time and going for any sort of trade. So it might even mean teams dedicating even more resources towards topside for that next spawn.
JackeyLove took an extra tower shot there. Now he's just getting flashed on. That's everything being poured into him, but he luckily has Meiko right beside him. And now Tian coming to answer the aggression that On put down, and answer he does. First blood, Top Esports.
He's able to find the kill because IG's bot lane flashing forward, hoping to take down JackeyLove, gave him a false sense of security. So not only do Top Esports get a dragon, they get the kill on top of it.
On's got a bit of a smirk on his face. He knows he messed up there. The boots will be completed as well for him. Going for some supportal combat onto Meiko. Trying to buy time for Lian to get around. A little bit late to the party, though.
Not going to be able to do anything. Look at the minimap. Tian is still trying to be a bit of a menace on the map, hovering around mid. Looks like they were hoping for a gank, but couldn't find one. You pointed out. Yeah, JackeyLove taking one more turret shot than he expected. Great handshake coming in from Wing, but not being able to follow up because of that Q from Meiko. And now, no flashes. Tian's already here because he was doing Dragon. Say goodbye, IG bot lane.
There's two worlds that play goes down. The first one is you get JackeyLove, you get a kill, maybe you still die, but at least you have something, but they come away with nothing for IG, and this was a big test for them. The BLG series, when Lian came in, it just felt like he had a mental advantage over Shun, and the entire jungle led to everything going down. We've seen IG since then. They've had some tests but it really is about how can you proficiently jungle and consistently do that for Lian as Cryin TP's bot side.
Wait. Okay, I was like, are we really TPing bot and not going for any kinds of shenanigans?
They're not going to show. They're going to actually have Cryin pretend like he is Lian. Lian waiting behind the wings to try to clear some of these vision wards out. The pressure is there, though, and Meiko and JackeyLove forced out of the wave.
They are losing CS
That's
in
6 scrubs,
mid.
though.
Yeah, 6 scrubs. They're losing CS in mid. Creme's probably going to get a plate off this, too.
Meiko and JackeyLove overstep, though. They finally will end up seeing Lian in there. So Tian realizing he just grabbed him. That's going to be both episodes of the Telegrubbies in this first game of the series, watched by Tian. He's going to be so knowledgeable.
Yeah, Tian's going to get that, so they're going to be able to push their lead top more. But this feels so bad for Meiko and JackeyLove. Creme finally finding a timing to come down since he had been in mid. He had been clearing waves. So has first agency on the move. So nice swing for IG's bot lane, finding a ton of gold for On and Link.
Kalista hardly let through, also a little bit less priority here on 14-4, but on a comfort champion for him, we know oh so well. Just trying to take that down. 369, though, with all those grubs, has already almost gotten 4 plates in top side of the map.
Yeah, he's been able to do a whole ton, and hell, that was even before, you know, the 6 scrubs was able to come through. So having a lot of options with how they're able to play this one out. You don't have the same fear of pick that we saw in the last series with globals like Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Talia Wall. So I think 369 should be able to get a lot more done in terms of side lane pressure than we saw in the last series.
Calling into question a little bit of that Cassante priority here. Tian will be contested for the scuttle, but he just gets it because he's pushing it away. And IG not able to come up with anything. Now they find themselves behind like 20 CS in the jungle, and a little bit less so in the top side of the map.
Now only down by a little bit, so not the end of the world. But I think now, you know, kind of getting towards our first items is when we're really going to want to see IG step up. Not too much on the map to play for now. And I guess even though we haven't seen IG to kill, right, they have been trying to dedicate resources into making plays. They dedicated 4 members down to bot side for 30 seconds just to get a ton more gold onto On and Link.
They're definitely poking and prodding, at least, into the sides of TES. Thundered Sky, though, completed
That's
for
huge.
Tian now, and that is so big for that skirmish.
Yeah, the sustain's going to be able to come through the damage that's there. Having that item before Lian, it now means...
Look at the Storm Razor.
Yeah, and I mean, if any fight breaks out towards the spot side, they just should stat check IG at this point.
It's a rising graph of how many Ren stacks versus how fast you can kill them, I guess. We'll see if that actually comes true, though. Both junglers repathing down towards bot side. We called it oh so important, and it remains to be so. They try to get the handshake there, but can't get it now. Meiko's playing pretty aggressive here. Tian shows up, and IG pull back.
They're gonna walk back for now. Again, smart call considering you're going into this with an item disadvantage. Even a level down for Lian against Tian. So really just everything working in the way of TES. Even if we look at the minimap, right? Creme getting back to lane first. He's going to be able to push this in, move down. And TES should either find a favorable fight or even just be able to move towards Dragon first.
I wonder now with actually Knight on his way, or Creme on his way, as we had last series. Creme on his way here. I think it does provide that pressure. YSKM going finally for an all-out against 369. Can't find it there. But I wonder now with Cryin actually moving, that combo starts to come alive that we highlighted in the draft for IG.
Oh, YSKM finding a little bit more. And again, a lot of the nerfs to Cassante in this patch were given to him when he's in all out. So your Q not slowing, the W channel not being decreased, your cooldown not being decreased. A lot of those aimed at Cassante when he's in this state, so he can't just be such a crazy outplay monster.
How many sentences got taken off of the copy pasta? I guess we'll find out. Creme is going to find out the hard way that he should not get caught by IG, as he does get the Spiraling Despair, but it will only be his own despair, as he does give that trade kill back over to IG.
Giving a presence on the map to make that play, because look at bot lane, JackeyLove and Meiko were now able to completely push in this wave, so that's just lost gold, lost experience from IG side, but it should turn into a dragon.
Tian is here, calling Unleashed by JackeyLove. Dragon about 3,000 health now. Tian wants to step up, but I don't know if it's a step up you necessarily want to go for. Wing tries to go for the no! Oh, everything goes wide.
Everything misses. It hurts. And again, they just lost, like, I don't know, a wave and a half worth of minions to this too. They're going to be happy. They got to kill the dragon. That's still a trade up for IG. But sure. I guess the point is they didn't have the map in an infallible state before this. They actively had to trade.
We're looking for a dive now, but just unleashing the mites down into bot side. It actually stopped Lian's back as well, or rather Cryin's back. Lian is going to go ahead and continue clearing there. And now we get another fight circle, but this time it's around the top side. We have a Rift Herald on the map. Resets coming out, potentially looking for that.
Not going to be able to get much off this. We do finally have items coming out across the board. Blade the Rune King on Cryin, having the Rocket Belt. Rocket Belt, another item that's kind of taken some small nerfs to the damage that it does deal with the active. So for a lot of people who didn't really look into the patch, one of Riot's big goals was to kind of take down damage from item actives and put more into the item itself, the stats behind the item, and what it gives to your champion.
Curious to see how the LPL plays with all these different changes. Again, jumping 2 patches is pretty big. Meiko going to get chunked there by Crime, but TES ended up moving their pressure towards top and get that Rift Herald too.
And this has kind of been standard TES this split. It's not like, I think, previous iterations of top esports where it is a lot more methodical in my mind. Their map plays look way better with Meiko than I feel like it has in any of the past years. But that also means a lot of the aggression that I think a lot of people used to associate with TES isn't there as much. Again, TES are a player constantly making plays and pressuring, as we've seen this game, but not always turning to kills, mindless kills the way that it did, say, 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think that's some of the differences. Obviously, I think a lot of roster changes really affecting the way that the structure of this team works in terms of how they make decisions and the shot calling. I would love to listen in and hear just kind of how the hierarchy works in that when you have such incredible players across the board. But I think we have seen that, when it comes to hands checking, TES are still right there and ready to go.
Exactly. I mean, in terms of their early game, I feel like in laning, TES can compete with anyone, which is why they were one of the teams to push BLG 2-3 games and have that close series. Hell, it was their first series of the LPL. I mean, so it's a very interesting team, I think, to keep their pulse with, and especially as we get closer to playoffs. YSKM.
All right, so how many sentences got taken off the copy pasta? It looks like they're still there, though.
It still looks like most of them are there. And I mean, when the Kasante changes came out, right, I think a lot of people weren't happy that they didn't nerf more. But I did listen to Freak talk about it on the dive where he said, hey, the balance team still really wants Kasante to have this identity where he is a tank that can solo kill you, that can outplay, but did also acknowledge hey, maybe there's too many tools to outplay, which is why he did get, hit in some interesting areas this patch. I'm curious to see where they go forward. Yeah, very much a Swiss Army knife.
Oh my god, I need a Swiss Army knife picture made of Kasante now. I need him to be a Swiss Army knife. I guess, want to focus a little bit more on the way that IG continue to stabilize here. Yes, they've been consistently down about 1,000. You would really like for On to have a little bit more of an advantage, but the tried and true nature of this is still that Wombo combo.
Exactly, right? A lot's going to be in, honestly, Luoyan and Wing. Right, I think Luoyan, YSKM, they're going to have to be the ones kind of corralling top esports into a neutral objective area and then setting up for Wing to get a great ult, which should allow for Cryin to follow up. So a lot of the payoff for IG that we see should be around the neutral objectives. You still have opportunities to make picks or look for ganks in map states like this, right? But I think for them to barrel ahead, it's going to be about the 5v5. Mazel, we're getting close. Dragging up at 45.
Watch all the mites.
Oh, TP flank from Cryin.
Of them. They do have the long con flank. This is the combo. This is the combo we wanted to see. Pop Blossom over the top, and there's the CC combo, but it's not enough. The Spartan Despair coming in on the Lian. The nice little hostile takeover. JackeyLove still in the fight, though, and top esports are hands dipping them as they dodge out of seemingly everything. IG come up with literally nothing.
And it looked like it should have been such a good setup with the flank from Cryin. No one able to follow up, though. YSKM not even part of the battle, so it allows top esports to pick up more kills and even should be able to get this next Stray. are some low health bars on people like Tian and Meiko, but doesn't seem like they're going to be bothered by it whatsoever.
Top Esports have had 100% first tower win percentage for so long, it feels like, and they will look to continue that here. After that, a gigantic lead going their way, and start off with the Rift Herald.
Right, they go for this. I mean, just looking to raise his turret. The big thing is the flank coming through for the Meiko. Loyan gets chunked out a little bit at the start, but it feels like the big difference maker is the fact that, yeah, that Loyan's not able to get in here. You're not already getting some damage down, so Cryine's immediately forced to flash out. And then, Meiko was so close to going down. But look, a lot of fuel's already been used from the tank. Tian that whole time used his own ult, and a lot of damage was being negated. And it really just kind of felt like, sadly for IG, the idea was good, but the positioning wasn't exactly there to follow through with the idea. Hell, YSKM didn't even TP in.
The Spiraling Despair is not annoying because it does a ton of damage. It's because it slows in a gigantic radius, and you could see Loyan didn't really know how to handle that situation there, because if he steps forward, he's literally locking down his entire team with the space that it provides. So really good heads-up play from Creme right there, and some of those little executions, the little dodges, JackeyLove sidestep, Meiko sidestep, it's all starting to come up top to Esports.
And how with the Demolish going to be able to take these turrets so easily. I really don't think IG have a great way of dealing with 369, especially once his TP comes back up and they could really start just looking to pull IG around the map. It's going to be such a hassle. IG's best play for now is probably trying to keep some level of like defensive vision around the Baron. And once Cryine's TP comes back up for sure, I think you can really start trying to find picks onto this Mini-Gnar. Until then, it might be a little bit hard.
Something we've seen tonight is just kind of full give of the grubbies over to one team, and it's been really interesting. We did get the trade-off in the second game of last series, but not a lot of focus from particular moments from a lot of teams here, and feels like we're back at the early parts of this season for the LPL, where we're just kind of giving over objectives in that way. We're going to return to a state of calmness here as Loyan was looking topside trying to catch out Creme. He'll step back up. He's not going to be caught.
Yeah, going to be fine for now. We also have On being able to pick up his second item, Ginsu's. Another item that was buffed 2 patches ago. Just kind of small damage buffs along with a bit of a nicer build path. But every little bit of damage is going to be meaningful in this game for IG, who've already fallen 4K gold down.
2 items are starting to come up for everybody, at least. You got that Horizon Focus for Creme to pump that extra damage in there. Frozen Hearts being completed for tanks as well. The Rapid Fire had been completed a long while back for JackeyLove. And we're starting to see a lot of prevalence for the boots late here, the at least addition of that with the magic boots.
Just trying to spend as much money as you can on just getting some of this damage done early on. I think it even makes more sense when you're on an AD carry that already is a bit mobile like Illusion.
On, gonna find a little bit of pressure on JackeyLove in mid lane. Now he has his item spike with that Ginsu's you so importantly highlighted, and JackeyLove gonna feel his ire.
369. I mean, is he walking to a trap or IG in a trap?
Is he locked in here with them, or he's locked in there with them.
Yeah, they had enough CC to make sure that the fact that he was about to turn Mega didn't matter whatsoever. So nice pick by IG. Again, it buys them a bit of time. They should even be able to get this turret off of this, so these kinds of picks are nice. Even just to close the gap a little. We've already talked about it, and it feels like if IG really want to lead in this game, it's going to have to come off the back of a team fight, just with how their composition is built. But getting closer in items is going to get you there.
Keeping eyes on On's positioning in fights is going to be oh so important. I think the same can be said for JackeyLove. The amount, or I guess lack thereof, of range for both these teams in terms of the ADC positions is going to be difficult to play around, and is going to require, absolute focus, I feel like. Something we've seen top esports definitely be in the nature of so far in this game.
Yeah, they've been very willing. I'm also curious to see, again, 80 carries taking over. Like we said, JackeyLove, everyone knows. I mean, one of the faces of IG. If On can step up and really kind of challenge one of his predecessors, has done fine in terms of keeping even so far. It's kind of interesting because even though the game is being led by TS, it really feels like there's still a lot of opportunity for either side to kind of just explode and break this game open.
Yeah. It's just crazy to think. I know a little bit of time being spent trying to set up a play in mid lane here as well, but it's just crazy how much time has gone by for JackeyLove when you look at how young he was with those IG splits and how early the glory was for him, and that was the start of what came to be like an LPL resurgence, I feel like, in the world, and that's when World Championships started coming out left and right for the league. Started gaining some of that. So really cool to see him still at the top of his game here. And speaking of top esports, going to be at the top of the Dragon list here with Dragon number 3.
Looks like IG still want to contend. They have all those big ultis that we talked about, but I feel like it's a lot harder to force the setup you want without already even being down in the area. I'm keeping my eyes on both Lian and Wink.
TP behind. That is going to be a YSKM. Been, or at least able to TP in there, because I think he's been able to actually have pressure in the side lane there. Top Blossom's going to go fully wide there, and now Top Esports will take that fight all day long. 369's on your back line, bro, and he's rolling 9s all day. YSKM is all by himself. He's trying to get the combo with Lian, but here comes 369, that mighty morphin monster here, and he's going to dash out, but the Ravenous Maw gets the slow, and YSKM, he gets bailed out, but no bailouts coming today. Creme gets it, and the mid lane is all top.
Now they're going to be able to get this turret. They're going to be able to turn to the Baron. And you know TS are going to be very comfortable with pushing this game forward.
That's why I find it so interesting. Like, YSKM had pressure to TP there in the side lane, and he had that angle, but he just wasn't able to clutch it out for the team. And now, off the back of that, Top Esports literally take the map and everything else.
We'll see in the replay, both Renata ult and the Nico ult really find no impact whatsoever. Like, look at Wink. Ult gets completely avoided by members of TES. They try to bring the Nico in, once again, not able to connect onto anyone. We said that that was how their formation needed to function. You highlighted it. Look at 369. Being such a nuisance on the backline, takes on out completely, and the other members just able to kite out through this IG front line. You need those ults to be able to connect and find any sort of win for IG.
Somebody's got to take this man's dice away from him. He just keeps rolling 9s. He's on 3.5 items now on the Gnar, and we're in the Dragon Pit now. IG secure it, so they'll tie up the Dragons at least.
Yeah, 369 banned from many establishments because of how good he is with the dice, so luckily Summoner's Rift not being one of them.
Not yet. Somebody's going to put a petition in and be like, yo, this man, he's rolling way too many 9s on his champions.
Oh, or is he, Mazel, or is
that
he?
might have been a 3. Oh, he gets the redemption in just to make sure. Now, Tian actually was looking for a bit of an angle. The back does come through from 369. He's going to stay because they have some sustain here. Does end up getting the quick back with this Baron buff, though.
You've been able to just corral them back with the use of Creme's abilities there. I mean, look, QW coming through, making it so hard for IG to walk up and even attempt to clear these waves.
He took that fight. He wanted the smoke.
Yeah, 369 doesn't care. You think that's going to stop?
Oh, the Spiraling Despair on. The Culling is going to miss, but the Spiraling Despair not enough. Now Tian once more, but he can't get back over the wall. And that is a bit of an issue. You have a ton of minions steaming in from Top Esports, and an inhib tower is about to go down.
And look at the mid lane. 369's pushing that wave in. It's going to make it very easy for them to rotate and meet up with him.
Dude, it's literally a 10,000 gold lead out of... No, like they had 4,000. It feels like we're back in the last series. Things exploding for Top.
Yeah, Top. They're not afraid
of
Cryin.
He's in the middle of them, though. He doesn't have a big angle. Tian's just going to go straight on him, force Cryin out now. Creme is all by himself somehow, some way. He's going to buy some time, though. YSKM took a chunk of damage. They end up getting a shutdown for On, but they got to fight their way out of this one. This is going to be a bare knuckle brawl, and Top Esports might have just brought some knuckles to the fight. You got Cryin in there, but he's trying to get Tian caught out. Here goes Lian. Nice little cyclone, but the Breath of Life might have been enough. Hostile takeover too. The combo's working from IG. On, he's blasted down by JackeyLove, and now Tian is back in it. YSKM tries to get the big pop-up, but he's just kited to all hell, and 2 kills to JackeyLove.
Nice job by TS to be able to turn that one around, even still hunting the members of IG. Look at the minimap. There are supers killing the Nexus turrets right now for Top Esports.
Things going Top Esports way. It might not be 10,000 gold as IG were able to fight back a little bit. Got some gold back for themselves, but they almost lose it. Next time they do lose it.
I love that TN's still hunting on the minimap. It looks like in the end, though, Wink does get away. This is so weird, though, because it's a fight on multiple fronts. It kind of ends up leaving Creme as the biggest loser with no front line to help him deal with these 3 members of IG. But getting to a point where even if the critical ults do land for IG, they're not at a point where they can pump up the damage to be able to finish this one out, because we're going to see here, starts off with the Cyclone, followed up with Wink's ult. JackeyLove actually manages to get far enough away from it to survive, and then 369. He's able to be the one to take the brunt of the damage, which buys enough time for Tian to get back in there.
The fact that Tian just absolutely murked Cryin there as well. Cryin just denied from a big play that he TP'd for. And not being able to pull anything off there. Now TES with all those structures burning in the base of IG. Now circle that 9,000 gold lead, and we're looking at top side of the map to get the final in hit.
Look at Fog
That was
War.
bold. That was bold.
Yeah. So dangerous for IG anywhere outside the walls of their base. Now TS going to be able to put down. Oh, Cryin.
There's the combo. They actually get it. Cryine's going to go golden. Here's the Crescent Guard, but the hostile takeover is so big. They actually have the combo. Spiraling Despair being popped off, though. On is kiting his life away. His life is forfeit, though, as Top Esports now fighting back. 369 and Tian, the Skirmish Bros, the Bash Bros, and they're taking them all down as cinders fill the sky. IG are gone, and Top Esports remain.
The Winions are already finishing off the base as 369 ends with a quadra kill.
What a way to do it. The man was rolling 9s all game long. He took the Gnar into YSKM, and Top Esports take the win over IG in game 1.
Dominant showing from TES, like just overall great, right? 369, you highlighted it, rolling 9s the whole time. Even the questionable decisions, we'll forgive those just for them being absolutely gangster of him always wanting the smoke. I mean, JackeyLove was having a good time. Creme was really being annoying with some of that poke. I mean, this was a Top Esports game, right? This is what you tune into a Top Esports series expecting to see.
I just love that IG tried to approach it with a 2v2 bot side. I applaud them for trying to go for that. Again, this was a big test for IG. Unfortunately, the first one, they do fail. They'll try to come back for game number 2, though. We will be back for game 2 as well as we